What it do, wrestling world? Welcome to Over the Top Rope Wrestling. It's your boy, Mr. Still Yo Dibs. And of course, I got my brother from another, the one, the only, Tantalizing Tony. My brother, what's going on?
I'm on location at the farmers market here in Pennsylvania, taking Mike and Kira shopping, about to have some lunch. Still got to talk wrestling because wrestling's my life, because it's all I have.
Pretty much, right? Pretty much. Well, I'm happy to see you, my brother. Glad you with your family, Kira and Mikey.
Yes, sir.
But we got some things to talk about. We're gonna talk about The Rock versus Brock Lesnar from SummerSlam 2 years ago. Later on in the show, we're gonna talk about Edge versus not Edge versus, excuse me, Edge saying that his last match most likely will be next August. We're gonna talk about Johnny Gargano returning to the WWE. But first, we're gonna talk about some AEW, ladies and gentlemen. And there are a lot of things going on in AEW backstage that is pretty much not good for the company. So we saw CM Punk last week talk talk about Adam Hangman Page the way he did with Adam Hangman Page not being present, which is something that Tony and I did not like. But then we got word about a meeting that was supposed to happen backstage between Kenny, Tony Khan, the Young Bucks, and other superstars. If they have any problem, they can come to them and talk. With that being said, bunch of stuff has come out. We've heard about Eddie Kingston being secretly suspended due to an issue with Sammy Guevara. We've heard that the Young Bucks are burying FTR. We've also heard about Kenny and Will Ospreay. Don't know if that's true or not, if that's just a work. But then also, we've heard about Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker DMD. And we're gonna start with Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. Apparently these are two women who do not care about each other at all. Two women that just don't like each other. As you all know, Britt Baker will be competing for the interim women's championship at All Out due to Thunder Rosa having a legitimate back injury. But on Fightful.com, they reported that Thunder Rosa, and Britt Baker cannot stand each other, and that they haven't for well over a year. But they do remain professional and are open to work with each other when it is needed for the sake of the company and their jobs. Jamie Hayter also developed heat with Thunder Rosa due to her feelings that Thunder Rosa works too stiff. What do you make of all this beef between these two women to start off with?
Speaking of beef, I'm ordering meatloaf. So right now they're taking an order. Hope the noise is not too much. Um, Listen, you can put a lot in that little packet right there. Um, Thunder Rosa, who is a supporter of this channel, people have said that she's a stiff worker, but I'm sorry. But my take on it is that better stiff and it look good than it too light and doesn't look good enough. Um, there's going to always be heat with wrestlers. Professionalism is the key. I don't know what else to say other than Thunder Rosa getting hurt, to me, hurts the AEW women's division because now whoever wins that title is not really a true champion. Now, I heard the plan was for Tony Storm to beat Thunder Rosa, which
I
is
heard the
fine
same
with me.
thing.
Right, which would have meant that we would have got Tony Storm versus Britt Baker at some point, or maybe even Tony Storm versus Ruby Soho, or whatever the case may be. Now, this interim, I don't agree with this interim championship crap. You get injured, guess what? You get stripped of the title. You know, you, I don't, I don't think they just have seen what happened with so interim thing with CM Punk and how this went down. I mean, it was a disaster, as it still is in process of being a disaster.
Correct.
Um, Fatal four way. Are we doing predictions, or are we just?
Just talk about the beef for right now. The backstage beef that's going on in AEW.
Here's my thing about the beef. We've been hearing a lot of rumblings. There's a beef, a lot of beef that backstage with more than one person.
Yeah.
Now,
Which I want to
on
get
my,
into with Sammy and Eddie and also
mhm.
Bucks FTR. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. People made a big production about Cody Rhodes and what he was asking for and everything. But let me ask you a question. When Cody was there, did you hear about all this backstage beef like this?
Not at all.
Zero. Is that coincidence?
It's
Or
coincidence that to me, the leader of an organization left and there's no leadership being shown backstage, in my opinion.
and that's what I'm saying. It seems like ever since Cody left, the climate has changed. And I don't know if Cody was keeping the peace. You know, people have said that look, Cody was politicking to get the title too, even after he said he didn't want it, and that's it is what it is. But you never heard anything negative about him. You know,
Yeah.
there might have been disagreements that maybe should have been a face, should have been a heel. We get that, but you never heard about him holding Tony Khan up for money or him causing any backstage heat with anybody else. And now all you hear about is heat. So what's going on in AEW backstage? Maybe they're missing Cody more than people thought.
Well, that is a good point. Very, very good point. But with Cody being gone, someone has to pick up the ball that he left and be that locker room leader. Like in WWE, it was the Undertaker for a long time, and now it's
Shh.
Roman Reigns. Someone has to be the leader. This is just too much going on at the same time with too many superstars backstage. I mean, here we are. We starting off with Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, who don't like each other. Sammy Guevara and Eddie Kingston had a misunderstanding due to not communication due to what Sammy Guevara says. He said Eddie didn't communicate with him about what each other could say. Eddie took offense to what Sammy said and supposedly threw a punch at Sammy Guevara. Am I correct? And which led to him being suspended. We got word about the Young Bucks keep burying the FTR. And there was even a time when the Young Bucks came out on AEW Dynamite and the crowd was chanting FTR. And Dick Jackson says, we're better than them. We're better than them. So is there real heat and beef between the two? Could be. But with all these stories coming out and Tony Khan being the boss, something got to be done. And in my opinion, the person that has to take charge and be that leader is Kenny Omega. He's back now, and he started this meeting. Would anyone have any problems? They could come talk to him, and they could try to settle it as grown-ups. Kenny Omega has to be the guy that gets things straight and be able to move forward without any problems in AEW. Since Cody Rhodes is gone, Kenny has to be the guy.
Totally agree. And JB, one little thing on technical issues. I'm getting messages that your mic is popping. It might be your fan in the back, might be blowing because your fan in the background. But we're gonna the producer's checking, and I got 2 text messages that your mic's popping. Kira's checking again to make sure.
All right, that's an easy fix.
Let's see. Let's see if it works out. And guys, we apologize. Listen, technical difficulties. JB's not home. I'm on location. That's how it goes. JB, give us a mic test. Let's see.
So, like I said, Kenny Omega has to be the guy that gets things straight at AEW. He has to be that locker room leader since he is now back from his injury.
Yeah, Kenny Omega is definitely the person to take control. And apparently, they had a meeting right before Dynamite, and Kenny Omega stood up and spoke and said something. Now, a lot of people were very impressed with what he said. From what I hear,
Hmm.
there were a few guys that rolled their eyes, but you're going to get that in any company. But I think Kenny is the guy to get things back on track. The other thing you got to notice is that you notice that all the backstage heat with Thunder Rosa, with DMD, with Eddie Kingston, with Sammy, and like you said, we'll get into that. But I think the common denominator of all these problems is CM Punk. I think when CM Punk came, it rubbed everybody the wrong way because
Because a
he
lot
got
of
some.
people didn't want him at AEW.
I don't even think that is. I think that's part of it. I think they would have got over that eventually, him being there. But I think because the amount of money he got and how quickly he was pushed into the main title picture rubbed people the wrong way. These young guys are not happy. Hey guys, yes, I got. Thank you, Miss. We're live on my show right now. I apologize. What's your name, Miss? Everybody, Nancy's our server. She's doing a great job. If you're ever in Rebecca's kitchen, right? If you're ever in Rebecca's kitchen, what part of Pennsylvania is this? Is this Boothwyn? Glen Mills, Boothwyn, PA. Rebecca's kitchen right here. She's the best waitress right here. She's doing a great job.
Hello, Nancy.
Thank you. So yeah, we just
Now,
got our
got your
salad.
food?
Look at that delicious salad right there, everybody. Yes, but yeah, I think Kenny Omega's got to take over, bro. I think Kenny Omega's got to definitely step it up, and he's got to be the man right now. And the young bucks, maybe a little immature,
Hmm.
maybe a little bitter because FTR is the hottest tag team on planet Earth.
That's correct. That is correct. Let me ask you this question right quick. Why couldn't Chris Jericho be the guy?
I don't think Jericho wants it. I think
I,
Jericho is
I agree
doing
with
his
you.
own thing. I think Jericho has paid. First of all, let's get one thing straight about Jericho. Jericho is the goat. Okay, I've been talking about Mount Rushmore, and he's now in my argument of maybe being on the Mount Rushmore wrestling because he's done so much with different companies, reinvented himself so many times. But I think that he's doing enough, man. Does he got to be the leader too? Does he got to do everything? I mean,
No.
he's enhancing young talent, you know,
Yes.
by the inner circle with JS. He's working with people that are that wouldn't get this platform. He's doing everything that a veteran's supposed to do, as is Daniel Bryan, as is John Moxley. Who are the people that aren't pushing the main talent, the younger talent, are people like CM Punk. So what can you say?
Very true. Jericho's been there, done that. Took up from Randy Orton when Brock Lesnar cut Randy Orton. So he's been there, done that. It has to be somebody else to do that, in my opinion. And like we said, it's Kenny Omega. Let's get into this Sammy and Eddie Kingston issue. What are your thoughts about what happened between the two?
Well, I actually did a show about it,
Okay.
and so here's exactly what this was the report. Apparently, they were backstage and they were cutting a promo. Sammy Guevara called Eddie Kingston fat. We all know that Eddie Kingston does not have the best body in the world. He has a dad bod, and that's the main thing on the internet that people get on about that he's fat.
Yeah.
He took umbrage to it, and he took a swing at Sammy Guevara. Tony Khan then suspended Eddie Kingston. Now his suspension has been lifted already. It's
Right.
done, but we didn't know about it till it was over.
Right.
But my thing is this, and number one, I never condone anybody taking a swing or touching another person if they shouldn't. Joey Conway, we'll talk about that on another day. But um, I really believe that both of them should have been suspended, not just Eddie Kingston. Now I get it; it was a promo, but there's certain things that should be off topic. Now, if the internet and fans want to get on you about your weight, that's something you're going to deal with. Fans, we're very critical of our wrestlers, of our people in a position of authority, position of high accolades. We critique everything, but your peers should not piggyback on stuff that fans put you down for. You know what I mean? So they know that his weight's an issue. They know his pot belly's an issue. Why would he go there? The other thing that looks bad on Tony Khan's part is that he was at the wedding with Sammy Guevara, dancing, having a great time, and Sammy doesn't even get reprimanded.
Hmm.
So how professional is that?
I'll give Sammy credit on this that he said there was no communication between the two. So to me, that's at least admitting some fault to what happened. And he says we learn and we learn from our mistakes and we move on. And stuff like that for promos, you got to talk to one another. You got to talk to one another because you like you just said, Eddie gets called fat. He gets called fat all the time. So he's probably kind of sensitive to that particular topic. So talk amongst yourselves. What can I say not to offend you? Get a reaction out the crowd, stuff like that. So and Sammy is what 26 years old, so he's still young. He's still young and he's still learning. So with all that being said, yeah, he's wrong. Should have been reprimanded, both of them. But hopefully both guys can forgive one another and move on because they were supposed to have this match at All Out, and it's right now it looks like they're not having a match at All Out.
No, no, and I agree. Just saying, Sammy's young. Also, Eddie Kingston has to maybe get control of his anger and not be so thin-skinned. Okay, I'm sorry, my bad. Try this again. I said I get it that Sammy apologized, and kudos to him. He's 26 years old. 26 years old, so he is young, and he's still learning. But also Eddie Kingston has to not be so thin-skinned when it comes to these things. And as for suspension, I don't think that Sammy. I should be more clear. Eddie Kingston and Sammy Guevara should not got the same amount of suspension, but I think that at least a reprimand or a warning, or maybe even a 2 day suspension or fine for Sammy Guevara, just something just to appease Eddie Kingston. Because when one person does something, they feel like they've been wronged.
That's right.
So I think that something should have happened to Guevara, just so Eddie Kingston would maybe a little more even keeled with it. That being said, the suspension's over, but the problem is the All Out match looks like it's not even on.
Right.
So the people that suffer is us.
That's right. The fans are the ones that's suffering. And maybe on Dynamite this upcoming week, maybe we'll see something to where they can get this match going. We will see. Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, they've gone back and forth on Twitter. And we saw on YouTube that Kenny Omega did a shoot on Will Ospreay off the air. I'm gonna go first. I really think it's a work between Kenny and Will Ospreay. I don't think there's any beef, any problems between the two. I think this is good old fun to get the fans behind this, and especially with them having their trios match on Dynamite coming up on Wednesday. I think this is just a work, nothing to get been out of shape about with Kenny and Will having a big time disagreement and beef. What about what are your thoughts? What do you think?
I think two things. I think number one, they figured, look, everybody here has so much heat and so much beef. Let's use that to our advantage.
Yeah.
Because people think we have the same problems. Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega, consummate professionals. They've traveled the same circle for years, New Japan, all over the place. I've never heard them have a problem with each other ever. I think this is just good for business. You got two of the best wrestlers on earth getting ready to get it on. So I think this is good for us, good for the business, and this maybe is showing the younger guys and girls, this is how you do a program professionally. This is how you do a promo on your opponent professionally, still getting them over while getting yourself over, and still having a banger match.
Totally agree. And to the last one, the Young Bucks FTR. It's come out that the Young Bucks are supposedly trying to bury FTR. Do you think this is true or false?
I can't say either way, but I will say this. Right now, FTR is the hottest tag team ever. They're going all around the world wrestling in every promotion, and they're winning and they're taking titles. AW better be careful. Better be careful because Triple H and FTR have a good relationship. And I'm telling you right now, could you imagine if these guys show back up on WWE television? My God! Now we've heard the rumors that there's been some tampering.
Yep.
I don't care. Okay, I don't care. If if I tell Kira, hey Kira, tell JB I want to be on the show tomorrow or whatever, and that's going through her. I didn't go to you. They're maybe using a second or third party. Hey, listen, let these guys know if they want to come back, they can. I'm all for it. I don't care about the legal issues about it. I care what's better for wrestling. I think FTR has they never got to finish their run properly in the WWE because of Vincent Kennedy McMahon ruining everything. And I would love to see the revival back with the WWE. I just, people say, oh, they want to be good there. They'd be great there because Triple H would work them properly.
Stole the words right out of my mouth. Triple H will work them properly. He will get them over most definitely than what Vince did when they were there. I want to see FTR slash the revival back in WWE. Now, if the Bucks are trying to bury them, what makes you think FTR is going to stay with AEW and Ring of Honor? They're not going to put up with any of that bull crap. All they want to do is help make tag team wrestling great again. They can care less about being champions for any organization. Yeah, they getting belts, but they said it. They just want to make tag team wrestling great. And if that's coming back to the WWE due to what's happening in AEW, if the Young Bucks are trying to bury them, then come on back home. And I will say this. I don't make a lot of guarantees in life, but I guarantee if they go back home, it will be way better than how it was before when they got called up to the main roster. I can promise you that.
Totally agree with that. The only issue I would have is you got to split these tag team titles up. This unified title stuff cannot work.
We gonna get in that in our last topic
Okay,
today.
that's see the brains
Yeah.
right there.
Uh-huh. Exactly. We thank y'all for tuning in to Over the Top Rope. I'm Mr. Steal Dibs. That is my brother from another, Tantalizing Tony. If you watched Monday Night Raw the other day, and while they was in Toronto, you saw the return of Johnny Gargano. My man got some green beans, he got some steak, and he got some mashed potatoes. That look good, bro. we,
It's my cheat. It's my cheat day.
your cheat day, huh? We saw the return of Johnny Gargano, and it's crazy that we didn't hear nothing about Johnny Gargano on the internet. But my man here was calling it for like 2 weeks straight. Tantalizing Tony. Johnny Gargano returned back to the WWE. He is on the Monday Night Raw roster. And since you kept calling this the return of Johnny Gargano, I will let you start it off. How did you
Okay,
feel seeing Johnny Gargano back in a WWE ring?
okay. It was great to see him back, but I wasn't surprised. And now I can divulge why. I didn't tell anybody this. Johnny Gargano was a table away from me where Candice LeRae was. He went to get his lunch out of his bag because he's very clean, so he carries his food with him.
Yeah.
He went in his bag. I saw a letterhead that had a WWE logo on it. I couldn't see what it was, but it had his name on it. It looked like it was something that was mailed to him. I don't know if it was a check. I don't know if it was a contract, but I could see the WWE letterhead. I already knew. I knew it was 100%. I didn't. I was the thing I was wrong about. I thought they were going to do it in Cleveland, and the reason why they didn't, they wanted to throw us off.
Yeah.
Everybody would, because I predicted at the Cleveland show that he was going to show, and I was wrong. But when I saw him come on, when I saw him come in Toronto, I was like, wow, they really threw one at us. But I had already known. I knew for a fact. But I didn't want to look. If I want to get subscribers, I could have said I could have been posting for weeks that I know for I could have got, and I didn't do that because I respect the business.
Yeah.
So yes, Johnny Gargano come back. Um, what else can you say about this? Is great, and he had an interaction with his former Way member, the Money in the Bank contract holder, um, Austin Theory. I call him Austin Theory, and this is just good for wrestling, bro. Johnny Gargano, arguably one of the best to do it on in the world. I mean, come on. What else can you say? This is great. Once again, Triple H has shown he got something up his sleeve every 2 seconds, and wrestling is getting better and better every day.
Before I get give my thoughts about Gargano being back, King of, I hope I'm saying this correctly, King of Hueco Mundo. I don't like the direction Triple H is taking WWE. He is making it into NXT, NXT four. I don't, okay, he's making it to NXT. Not interested as much. And AEW Punk Squash match has everyone talking. Um, he also says AEW is full of twists and turns. It's like a fresh of breath air. This way I'm just disagree with you, buddy. Triple H has brought a whole breath of fresh air into the WWE with Monday Night Raw and with SmackDown. The shows are much better than what they've been. We are getting better quality wrestling. I said it, quality wrestling. We're getting longer matches. We're not getting squash matches, and it's just the show itself is just better. I can sit there and watch Raw and leave my phone wherever it's at. I'm not picking up my phone and texting because the matches are just boring and dumb. We are having better matches. AEW, on the other hand, AEW is fine. AEW is good. I just have problems with AEW storylines. That's pretty much it. And everybody on AEW now, there's people complaining about not getting TV time with AEW because the roster is too big. But Triple H has the whole international wrestling community talking about what he has done since he's taken over creative control. He has everybody talking. And hold on, Tony. I'm gonna let you go, Tony. But he said something else. It's fired NXT talent, amigo, and quality match. Watch Dynamite main event. Leave your mouth open. Nothing to do with WWE. Hey, that's fine. You know, Dynamite main event matches are good. That's fine. And I'm not disagreeing with anything about a Dynamite main event. But guess what? These fired NXT talents were great NXT talents. And when did these firings happen? When he got removed from NXT, and he had nothing to do with it. So he is trying to right a wrong that should have never happened. Should have never happened. The wrestling world is talking about Triple H. They are talking about him and what he's done. Do you listen to Busted Open? Dave LaGreca has not complained about a Monday Night Raw for the first time in over a month. He's praising the ground Triple H walks on right now for what he is doing. And for us, it is a fantastic time to be a fan of wrestling with Monday Night Raw, with SmackDown, AEW, NXT. NXT has even been better, in my opinion. Tantalizing?
Have I rubbed off on you? Cause you
I
going
went,
in.
I went a little hill, huh?
Got the Tantalizing Tony playbook that you read today. My goodness. No, look, everybody's entitled to opinion, but if anybody's saying that Triple H is doing a great job, they fell on their head. They got a concussion, they're smoking something, or something's actually wrong with them. And you can love AEW and you can appreciate what they're doing. But I'm telling you right now, like JB said, Triple H is the talk of wrestling right now because once again, JB made a great point. He is righting a wrong. He is righting a wrong. He has he's trying to put the time machine in reverse and undo all the mistakes that McMahon made with letting these talents go.
Plain and simple. King of Waco Mundo. But we thank you, bro, for tuning in. We thank you for your your comment. We love it. We like everybody to post their comments, their questions, and we'll get to it. This is just wrestling. He got his opinion, we got ours. This makes wrestling unique, and which is why we love wrestling. Do you agree, my friend?
100%.
That's it. Still thank y'all for tuning in. Johnny Gargano, when they played the music, bro, I was sitting there like, I know you're lying. I said, I know you're lying. And he didn't walk out for a second. And I said, they're trying to tease us. And finally, when he walked out, yeah, I walked out. I did. I sure did. Because Johnny Gargano is one of the best in the world, hands down. And I never thought he would go to another company. I never had that mindset. I just felt like WWE is his home. And here he is. He's back. And with him being back, I hope they start some type of feud immediately with him in Theory. It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. And what Theory said in his promo, I loved it. Like, I was your understudy. Now I didn't did the things that you want to do. You should be my understudy. I loved it. But with that being said, I am happy Gargano is back. I'm happy he's on the main roster. And I hope there's a lot of big things happening for him soon. Either that's an Intercontinental title or the U.S. title. But man, I'm happy to see Johnny Gargano back inside the WWE ring.
I definitely agree, but I don't think he should shoot as low. Not that it's low, but I don't think he should be the secondary champion. I really believe that Johnny Gargano can main event WrestleMania.
I agree too. I totally agree too. I understand what you're saying. I am saying U.S. Intercontinental because I don't think they're gonna throw him right into the world title picture like that.
Which is fine. I like the slow build. I don't got a problem with being IC champ, or he won't be. He probably be US champ, and then have him go to a main event and get the title. Things is going to start changing soon. Like once after we get class at the castle under our belts, I think we're going to see a change. I think they're going to split the titles. I think they're going to there'll be more opportunity for people to get championship opportunities. But I don't want you guys to remember this. The same way I tell you Gargano was coming, I'm predicting by SummerSlam next year, Johnny Gargano will be WWE champion.
All right, all right. Thank y'all for tuning in. Um, I'm Mr. Sticky Dibs. That's Tantalizing Tony. Thank y'all for watching Over the Top Rope. Now, Edge, who just returned back to action, cut a promo after Raw went off the air and said he would have his last match ever next year in August. So that could be SummerSlam. That could be maybe something in Toronto. We don't know. But he said last match ever will be next August. I'm gonna go first, man. I figured we have Edge for a couple more years. He was on mainly a part-time schedule. We could say more than part-time because he's been there for a minute until he got injured. And there's nothing left for Edge to prove. But before Edge goes back into the sunset, I would love to see Edge as world champion one more time. And I don't care if it's he holds a title for 1 month. I don't care. Just to have Edge be champion one more time, I think it will be the correct move for them to make. What do you think?
Everything you said is right. I'll even say this. I don't care if he's champion for one more day. That guy deserves a title. 9 years of his career was taken, and Michael just burped off camera. 9 years of his career was taken. Sorry, guys. 9 years of his career was taken, and he lost at WrestleMania with him and Daniel Bryan in the triple threat match, and sort of threw us for a loop because we all thought maybe Edge was going to win this, but I really believe that he deserves his title one last time. It's sad to see that he's going to leave so early. I was hoping to get at least 2024, 2025 out of him. But maybe he's ready, you know?
Maybe so. Maybe so. I mean, we don't know his mindset. We don't know how his body feels. He's the only one that knows. And maybe he's saying he's got only one more year left and gonna give us a good show. Um, they got to put the belt on him. That's all I'm hoping for. At least one more time before he
There's a few,
goes.
there's a few things we got to see. We got to see Rated RKO. We got to see them back together. Hopefully, Randy's back. And I would love for some way maybe them to get Christian involved because I'd love to see Edge Christian reunion somehow. You know,
Yeah,
it would. So we will see.
we will see. Rated R superstar Edge. Now, something came out the other day that the WWE will be redesigning some of its championships. With that being said, I'll let you go first. Which ones should they redesign?
Usually, this is why I point behind my back and show them the belt collector, but I'm not home to do that. Um, this is great news. Could we see a variation of the Winged Eagle? Could we see the Winged Eagle back? Now, here's my thing. People want the Winged Eagle back, but I don't. I want new belts so I can get more belts to collect. Let's get some new
Look at
designs.
Kira's
Let's
face.
maybe
Look at Kira's face.
just look at your face. Got some new belts. I'd love to see a variation of maybe you incorporate the logo title with the Winged Eagle. I think I had a picture of it somewhere. Um, out. I wish I could put it up in the chat, but um, there's a listen. If Triple H is doing this, we may go back to the old IC title. I say you keep the US title the way it is, but the title that needs the most revamping is those ugly tag team championship belts. I hate them. They look like giant pennies. I hate them. I hate them. I think they're the ugliest things ever known to man. But we may get it. We may get, you know, it's 2022. We may get a variation of the old tag team titles, like the ones that the Heart Foundation used to wear. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, maybe we get a cross between the Attitude Era or the Winged Eagle title, but whatever you can do, I hope it's true.
Well, supposedly Triple H is making a move to do this. And I'm going to say this. Number one, those tag team belts, most definitely. They got to redesign those things. That's horrible to me. That's horrible. Number two, the Intercontinental Championship. That belt there, to me, it's just ugly to me. It's ugly. I prefer, you know, the legendary one. You know what I'm talking about.
Of
All right?
course.
Yeah, legendary
Speak,
one.
speaking of IC titles, not to take us off, but our good friend Alex Barbero, he just got the IC title with the red logo.
Ooh.
But guess what? It doesn't make his collection for his edge. He wants his edge collection belts. Guess who has the one last title he needs for his edge collecting belt? He needs the scratch logo for the IC title, the oval one.
Yeah.
Guess who's making a trade for the red IC title? Let's go. The belt that has eluded me my entire life.
Yes, indeed. Now, I'm going to say this. If they're going to keep roaming with these two belts, they need to redesign, well, not redesign, make a whole new belt as just one. But if Roman happens to drop one of those belts coming up soon, I'm fine with those belts staying the way they are. I know a lot of people don't care for the big W, but I kind of like it. I kind of like it. I do. That's just how I feel. I kind of like it. It's very simple. The big W means you the face of the company. You the champion. That's my opinion, brother.
Your opinion sucks.
Ah, whatever, man. Whatever.
You were doing great this whole show until right now. You were like 99.99, and now thumbs down. No, I get it. I do get it because I actually like the added the scratch logo, the one. I think that it's just the problem with this logo is it's just so plain.
It's simple. That's all.
Yeah, well, we don't need simple these days. Nothing's simple in this day and age. Everything's complicated. So let's have the titles complex too. I'd love him to have like maybe 20 designs and let the fans vote. You know,
Yeah, I know, but
that
you
would
know
be.
they're not letting any of the fans vote. That's not happening.
Listen, they need to just call me up. Let me design the title. I know what I'm talking about. But no matter what the case is, Triple H once again doing something that everybody wants.
That's right. That's right.
So,
Listening
so,
to the
so whoever
fans.
whoever said that stuff that Triple H doesn't know what he's doing or blah blah blah, please.
Oh, yes, indeed. Thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to our last topic of the day. 20 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, SummerSlam 2002. It was The Rock versus Brock Lesnar.
My goodness.
The build up for this match to me it was good. It was good. And I, for one, did not want to see The Rock lose. But I knew it was happening because Brock Lesnar was the next big thing. And it had to happen. And The Rock, if you went on his Instagram page, he was the one that said a lot about it. He said Brock was the next big thing. We had great chemistry in the ring. We put on a great match for SummerSlam. The fans, no, not the fans. He said Brock was over with the fans. And actually, I was getting booed some in that arena. And Brock beat me clean in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3. And Brock became the new face of the WWE. And looking back at it, it was the right move to make. They put on a great show, the Rock and Brock, the only match that they ever had, besides going on the road for house shows. But Brock and Rock put on a great show. And for The Rock to do the right thing and hand the title to Brock Lesnar, even though he was going off to do movies, and that was his last match as a full-time wrestler. That was the correct thing to do. 20 years ago, my man, what are your thoughts about this match?
It was crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had to have Kira look it up because I couldn't remember where I saw it, and it was in Long Island.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was the Garden. I didn't know if it was Meadowlands. I couldn't remember where it was exactly, but because these matches are starting to go in. Listen. I'm not gonna lie to you. The last 3 years, I don't remember what I've been to. So 20 years ago, but I do remember I was sitting maybe loge, so I had the the perfect angle, right
Oh, you were
above
there.
right above the floor. Yeah, right above the floor seats. I didn't know if I was in Long Island or Jersey. I couldn't remember. But now I remember it was you. She looked it up. It was Uniondale. It was Long Island. Um, the crowd was hot. I believe is that the same match that Triple H fought Shawn Michaels when Shawn came back, right?
Yes.
Okay, right. And then Shawn beat him with a little flip pin,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
He blocked the pedigree. Okay, now my brain's coming back now. Sorry. That's how I remember things main events. But the whole crowd was hot that day, and Rocky got his share of boos because everybody knew that Brock Lesnar was definitely the next big thing. It's crazy to say that 20 years ago that happened, and now 20 years later, The Rock on top of Hollywood, and Brock Lesnar still on top of his game. Here's my question: we do know we're going to see The Rock back at some point. Do we ever see a rematch between The Rock and Brock Lesnar? Is that a possibility?
But our good friend Brian Blackman said they should have had a rematch. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think so. I think The Rock is gonna just let that be. I think The Rock has his match with Roman, and that's it. That is it. I don't think we're ever gonna see a rematch with Brock and Rock. I think that stays the way it's been for all these years.
I disagree. I don't think that Rock has a one-off against Roman. I really don't. I think when Rock does meet Roman, I don't think that's his last match. I think he puts Roman over. But I definitely think I think Rock versus Brock is money, and you gotta realize something. Brock Lesnar loves money, and if they can book this properly, we can see a rematch at SummerSlam 2023. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility just yet. So hold on to your hats.
Okay, let me say this: Crown Jewel or Saudi Arabia has offered The Rock to wrestle and offered to pay him 20 million before. If that happens with Rock and Brock, could it be in Saudi Arabia?
I could not be happy. I would not. I would not be happy with. I would not be happy with. I'm sorry, Michael's promoting the channel. Michael's giving out cards. Anyway, I wouldn't be happy with Saudi Arabia. That's something that should be here where we deserve it. Nothing against this. Well, I don't care about the Saudis, but I'm just saying um, that's not something we should not. We should have that. I'm mad that we didn't get to see Shawn Michaels get back in the ring here. So if they
Right.
do have their rematch, they got to do it. It got to be a SummerSlam. It might got to be WrestleMania for 2024 in Philadelphia. I mean, why not? The Rock's not done anybody. The Rock's in the best shape of his life. Looks great. He can have one or two matches. You know, don't think that this is over for The Rock. He will fight Roman at Mania. Rock will go over, but The Rock ain't done. What's the problem? I said The Rock. I said Roman will go over. Be quiet. Just produce from that side over there.
As our producer Kira, Roman has to go over. It makes no sense for The Rock to win that match.
Of course.
The first match. He has to go over. But definitely. Um, hey, Rock and Brock happens. I agree with you. It has to happen here. And I want to be there when it happens. I
So do
want to be
I.
there. I want to be there.
That doesn't matter where on Earth, where in America that is. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if it's a SummerSlam. Doesn't matter if it's a No Way Out. Doesn't matter if it's a Backlash. Wherever it is, Rock versus Brock. I don't care if we have to drive cross country. We're gonna see that match.
It is money, ladies and gentlemen. It is box office. Hands down.
Hey, listen. I know that's the last topic. But I have a quick question for you that somebody brought up on my show last night. Do you think Money in the Bank should go back to being at WrestleMania?
Good question, man. Good question.
Here was my scenario. You do Money in the Bank. You do the Money in the Bank match for the men and the women on Saturday. You don't have any of the title matches until Sunday. That way you can still cash in.
Or you do one on Saturday and then one opens up on Sunday.
You could do that too.
Yeah.
But you answer my question. You think they should put Money in the Bank back at WrestleMania?
Ah,
I think you replace the Money in the Bank with No Way Out. You bring back No Way Out. Bring back these pay per views that we used to love. You know,
yeah, yeah. Uh, I think Money in the Bank and WrestleMania was just so big and people loved it. That's why they made it his own pay per view. And I just don't see him doing it. I wouldn't have a problem with them bringing it back. I just don't see him doing it.
I hear you. My problem with Money in the Bank is this: is that the only matches that mean anything are the two Money in the Bank ladder matches. What they should do is they should make you have to qualify that night to get into Money in the Bank. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And then do it. Not
that'd be
qualify
nice.
on Raw and SmackDown. Qualify that night. Maybe enough. Maybe you have two fatal four ways or two, 8 men. You can figure it out. Where then two people advance, and I think you should
Yeah,
only put six. I think seven is too many. I think eight's too many. I think you should have 6 people Money in the Bank. I think it should be six and six alone.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, I would go with six also. The Redeemer, Money in the Bank should go back to being at Mania, and Hell in the Cell should go back to being random because once you have full shows based around them, they aren't special. It's a great point.
Yep.
Yeah, great point.
Because at Hell in a Cell, every match is a Hell in a Cell.
That's correct.
If they did every match that was in a cell, I get it. But only one match is Hell in a Cell. So how's the Hell in a Cell pay per view? You know?
Yep, I agree. I agree. And that's kind of saying like for Extreme Rules, all the matches are not Extreme Rules anymore.
Right. How do you
I
have
never.
Extreme Rules pay per view when every move, every match is not Extreme Rules? Come on, it's an
Right.
oxymoron.
When they came here for Extreme Rules many years ago, man, they had a ladder match with Jeff Hardy and Edge. They had a steel cage match. They had a fatal four way. They had all type of matches. There was not a regular single match. That's how Extreme Rules should be. Now we get an Extreme Rules match. It's probably just one at the pay per view, and
Yeah,
it's barely extreme.
yeah.
Crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. You're right.
Yes,
Hey, listen, man.
indeed.
I didn't mean to take the show to a right field, but just
Oh,
was
it's
thinking
good.
about that.
Yeah, that's not a problem at
And
all.
just so you guys know, I can't see who's in the chat. So whoever's here, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good night. Subscribe to Tantalizing Tony, please. I need subscribers. I need them. I need them. I need them. And JB, he don't need them. I'm just joking. Subscribe to JB if you're here for the first time too, and hit those likes. Very important. Hit those likes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Robinson Richie, he showed up. He said, "Stay still in your tantalizing dibs." Yes, indeed. Well, everyone, we thank you all for tuning in. We definitely appreciate it. We will definitely be back next Saturday again. I'm Mr. Steal Your Dibs. Oh, I gotta pause it right quick.
What's up, Mr. JB?
The big star. Hey Mikey? How you
Hi.
how you
Hey, what's up,
doing,
Mr.
man?
JB?
What's up, Mr. JV?
Man, not much,
So you
man.
start,
Waiting for you to pop
so
up
you
to the
start
camera.
kindergarten Monday.
I start kindergarten Monday.
You start kindergarten on Monday? Hey, you're gonna be a great kid. You're gonna be a great kid in school, buddy. I hope you have fun and you learn a lot in kindergarten.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Tell everybody stay
Yes, sir.
tantalizing.
Stay tantalizing.
that's the star of the show when he show up. Our guy Mikey. Our guy Mikey. You got any last words before we go?
Kira, any last words? She said no. She said it. Thank you. No, all I want to say is this.
Thank
Everybody, listen,
you.
we're about a week away from Clash at the Castle.
Class at the castle and all out.
All Out, and it looks like I'll be going All Out. One of my subscribers bought me a ticket to All Out.
Nice. Nice.
Now I'm asking my nation of Tantalization to start sending those super chats for plane tickets. I'm not joking. I need the money. I ain't lying, bro. Kira's in college. We buying 85 books. Anyway, look. Watch both these channels and watch this show every week because it's what we do. Guys, we're here with the wrestling content for you. Are we the best channels out there? Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Are we the most successful? Not yet, but we'll get there with you guys. Share the channels. Share. Hit the share button. Share it on Facebook. Share it on Twitter. Share it on Twitch. Share it on YouTube. Share it. Share with your parents. Hey, look at this. Press the button. Subscribe.
Taylor Antonio is right, everybody. Please share the channel. Tell all your loved ones, your friends, and we definitely would appreciate it. Most definitely. Without you all, we're not where we are. We're not at over 4,000 and 5,000 subscribers. We need more y'all to subscribe. Yes.
Subscribe. Yes.
What is Ricky talking about? Look out for ravishing reptiles with ravishing Ricky Ramone. He sounds like a troll. He sounds like a troll right now. What's up with Ricky?
He trolls all the time. That's what he does.
That's our boy Ravishing Ricky, man. That's our friend, man. Man, hey Ricky, yo, I forgot to tell you this. I meant to tell you this. Congratulations, bro. Congratulations. You know what I'm talking about? You know, I'm happy for you, my brother. Real talk. I'm happy for you. Congratulations, bro. Yes, sir. One to you. So, that being said, I'm Mr. Steal Your Dibs. That's my brother from another, Tantalizing Tony. We'll see y'all next week right here, same time. Until then, peace.
Stay tantalizing.